Hi, I'm Don Bodan from SampleLibraryReview.com. Today we're going to be checking out Tonal Ticky Tackies from Cinesamples. Cinesamples released what they're calling one of the most unique libraries to date. That's pretty bold words, but I have to tell you, this thing looks so useful. Tonal Ticky Tackies is a semi-tonal percussion instrument for Kontakt, and I love the idea of the instrument that it's an organic sample set. And if you do any kind of scoring, you know just how valuable clocks are. Well, this takes it to a whole nother level. Tonal Ticky Tackies downloads is 6 gigabytes. It contains 20 sound sources with 50 presets, including mix settings, 30 different rhythmic patterns, over 180 reverb impulse responses, built-in compressor, panning, and blending controls. The library does require the full version of Kontakt 5.5 or higher, and normally sells for $149. It's available during this Black Friday sale Cinesamples has going on for just $74.50. I'll, of course, include a link take you straight over to the developer's page. Please use SLR's links. Developers notice where traffic comes from. Some of our links are affiliate links, so we might get a small commission at no cost to you, which helps me to pay the contributors, keep the site going. Alright, I've got the instrument up here. I've played around a little bit with it, but for the most part, this is going to be a first look. However, I'm going to go ahead and summarize what my thoughts are about the library at the very end. If you just want to hear what I think about this, then you can jump to the end to check that out. All right, let's dig in right here. We've got, you can see Tonal Ticky Tackies is available right here as one instruments folder with a main NKI, as well as individual NKIs for each of the sample sets. And then they've even got a folder of MIDI, which I think is very interesting. We might get a chance to check that out as we go. Let's just dig in right away to the front of the interface, which is probably my biggest con. This thing looks like it's a mock-up for an instrument in this day and age. It's so boxy and bland and brown, but let's just move past it. We've got two sample sets, left and right. And each preset loads not only a different sample set, but a different pattern. As well as different reverb sends and insert settings. So we've got patterns up here. And then a set of different one-shots. And then some pads. See, this preset takes advantage of the advanced controls with an XY axis. For panning, which is kind of cool. I'm a big fan of utilizing grain patterns like this to get pads much more organic. Another thing I noticed right away is we've got the ability to load different mixes. So this is different EQ and settings for each of those. Continuing on with pads. And then below the pads, we've got effects presets. And I've discovered my second con of the instrument. The instrument has blue designating where you can play, but when I go up higher, nothing's happening, even though those are color-coded. Maybe that's a minor gripe. It's just a little odd, in my humble opinion. Let's go on to some other effects. So I hear a lot of panning in there. Let's see what the Advanced tab is doing for our XY axis. That's pretty cool. Let's explore some of these just a little bit more. We've got a steady marimba. And here we've got our patterns. So we've got 8 notes with a couple different accents. Now here we can see we've got our marimba with brushes on the left and a marimba with brushes on the right. If we go in, we could go to, let's go to something, hang drum with hand. And we've got some randomized features. We can randomize the rhythm. Filter. And at any time here, we've got dynamics here. Controlled with a MIDI CC or velocity or aftertouch, which is kind of cool. Again, I'm playing up high and I'm not getting anything, so. You know, we've got the advanced blending style there, so we could go ahead and switch it over to left, center, right. Yeah, I'm already starting to see how this is going to be really useful. You could kind of imagine how you'd be able to use it layered with just about any kind of organic acoustic instrument. And get it to blend nicely. And I love that it's tonal, so you can play your chords along with what's going on with your score. And I like the choice of design for the reverbs. So many times with an instrument, it's just dripping with verb that sometimes is maybe hiding some of the sample quality. I can hear these are really clean, clear samples, and if I feel like it's not enough verb, I can add more. Now I hear the verb, whereas the original preset, I forgot which one I was on. Here it is, jangles. That one, you don't hear the room. The room is present. It gives it a little bit of space, but you just don't hear it. The other thing I didn't mention about the library is the ability to use auto makeup, and they've got a couple different setups for this compressor. So the compressor gain, they've got a Comp 2, which I believe is an SSL modeled. Just so you can get more presence, because you want to have it, a lot of times you'll want to have it right up the very front of the mix, just poking through a tiny bit, but it'll be, you're better able to control it using a compressor, and for my ears, this sounds really clean with their compressor. The pads, this is an interesting way to do pads. You can actually, it looks like you can go in and program your own movement, which is pretty cool. And I think with something like this, we'd be able to really hear. Let's go ahead and do that. And that's panned pretty hard for my tastes. I do it a little bit less. I don't want to hear my left, right that hard personally. So let's see what this does. Pan of presets throughout, circles, clockwise, doppelpan. Orbits. So there's a couple ways to think of this. You can think of it as panning. You could also think of it as more organic gating, I guess. And that's just a little much for my ears with my cans on. But I could see how it'd be useful. Let's go ahead and take a look at these one shots, a couple of these. There's not a lot of layers in these for velocity sensitivity, but we can hear. But I can hear a couple layers, so you do get a little bit of soft, medium, and then a couple different hard hits, I should say. These one-shots this would probably be a good place to check out the different halls. There's 50 different halls. Let's go with the large ambience over here. And we've got different mix settings. Guitar wash, personally, one of my favorite kind of sounds. Yeah, the more I'm playing with this, the more I'm loving just the controls, the ease of use for the interface. Alright, thanks for spending a little time with me here today. Tonal Ticky Tackies here. It's new from Cinesamples. Pretty excited about the instrument. Really loving what they've done with this thing. I think the big pros here are this thing could stand alone or be mixed in with scores, and I think it will excel at being mixed into organic and acoustic instruments. Replacing clocks, replacing hi-hats or synth sounds, this is going to be much more exciting and fresh, in my humble opinion. I love that you can add and fade these textures in, and that anyone who's scoring for media knows how important subdividing time can be when you want to increase the pace, you want to build some momentum in the moment. I have a feeling this is going to blend much better with those acoustic and organic instruments, like I said, but I still think it's going to be able to be used in all kinds of different sounds. It'd be really fun, I think, to check this out and use it in a synth score, because then you're doing the opposite of what's been done for so long, which is acoustic, organic, orchestral instruments with a synth kind of tick-tock. Now we're doing it the other way. Maybe a synth kind of score with a acoustic tick-tock. That could be pretty cool. I think I might try that out. I'm a big fan of what they've done with this advanced XY for panning and the controls for the advanced blending here, how this really works. I've seen so many other instruments that have an XY control, and it just becomes absolute chaos to try to figure out, excuse me here, what the hell is going on. This is pretty straightforward, pretty easy to understand, easy to use. They got presets for panning presets, they've got presets for XY shape. You can just drag and move around, build your own, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. Real simple. The compression sounds really nice and clean, and that's all you could ask for from the instrument. On the cons, I'm going to have to go again and say that this interface looks like it was a mock-up for the designer to get an idea of what they wanted before they actually did the design for the instrument. I don't want to feel too harsh about it. I'm not going to gripe on it much more. I just had to make sure and mention that. I also think it would have been nice to see more instruments included. Could have done all kinds of stuff besides the traditional hang drums, guitars, boxes, marimbas. Could have done cardboard boxes, could have done little wooden boxes, could have done pieces of plastic, all kinds of organic material with beaters, with brushes, with hands. Could have greatly expanded the sample set. Now, I really think that if you're doing any kind of media scoring, you know how important subdividing time is, and you know how, if you're a guy that uses clocks or somebody who wants to get into clocks, but you've never liked the idea of just the tick-tock sound, this is going to be a real cool tool to use, especially at this Black Friday sale price of $74.50. I'll include that link below, straight below. Take you straight over to Cinesamples if you want to grab this. That Black Friday sale is going on only till, I believe, December 2nd. So grab it while it's hot. Normal price $149. Thanks so much for checking out the videos. Always love your support. Please comment along. Tell me what you think about Tonal Ticky Tackies, what you think the usefulness of this instrument might be for your scoring. I always love a like, a share, and please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Be sure to head over to Sample Library Review for each our new reviews, as well as our weekly deals page.